this matchup, I think they made a good breakdown. Yes, Penn State has had a tough strength of schedule, and you need to come up with a big win here today. But of course, as they said, no Tennis Master this time. Tennis Master, great player in his own right, but Corey's in, he's back. And Penn State, what do you have in store versus Duck?
That's a good question, right? Duck is one of those players that a lot of people may have known, just like Bambi from other RL esports events. But is it enough to take down this Penn State squad? It's always weird talking about a team that hasn't won yet. Well, you know, they came really close this one time, but they lost. Regardless, they're losing. Both teams are trying to turn their season around, and this is where you do that against a team that could not possibly lose worse than you already have. So, I mean, that being said, let's get into it. First minute in game here. Ball moving downfield. Good pinch from Duck, able to set this up. Cam Bam off of the demo from Corey. Another demo, but will they score? Shot chance, no. The respawns come out in time to make the save.
The big double demo, and the Nittany Lions right now absolutely trying to squeeze the life out of Sault College. A much-needed clear from Duck, but they are struggling to hold on to the ball over on the Sault College half. That's a nice controlled touch from Chiller and a great support play from Extra.
Now, pressure, but not too many looming. It easily gets cleared out. This could be a chance for Penn State. Here's Duck in that corner. Ooh, Rim with that early challenge, but that's a double commit. It goes right to Chiller, who again is just trying to recoup after getting a demo. Gets demoed. And Cam Bam with the shot. It'll be Duck picking up his third save of the game. So a little bit of back and forth as both teams are trying to get those rotations under control, but you can see the demo plays are throwing them off a bit.
Yeah, definitely the demos throwing the defense off of Sault College. And that's what demos are good for. Yes, they're good at opening the door, but if they're not for an immediate goal-scoring chance, they're so good at forcing those defenders to make tough decisions, because demos require you to fill the gap perfectly and try and maintain the area that you are already covering. And so it's so tough to react to a demo, say, at the midfield, when you expect to have more time to go for a challenge, and that's what can put teams in a bad spot. Of course, here in this game so far, the demos have been coming on the goal line for Penn State, and Sault College has just been getting back in time. But physicality is a valuable effort for really putting the defense under stress.
That physicality has been shown. A lot of demos in game one. But not a lot of goals here. Teams have been missing their mark. Who's going to find that consistent offensive pressure? Maybe a chance here for Sault. Extra taking his time. Gets that touchdown in front, forcing a double commit save. Duck shot. Oh, almost on target. Corey off the post had to make that save. Chiller with the follow-up. Shots coming out there from Sault. That was their best offensive push yet, but they still come up empty.
And look at that pressure being applied from Gambam. He doesn't actually get a challenge and the ball actually leaks out, but his forcing Duck to get rid of the ball there meant that he couldn't actually control it on his way up the pitch. And there's that demo in the midfield, and that's when you get these transitions. Extra is in such a bad spot, and Rim shows him exactly why. Demos in the midfield are so valuable. You think you got more time, you got none, you can't defend everything, and Rim nails it.
And that's really solid from Rim too, right? Being able to get in front of that and push through. A lot of pressure from Penn State, and that time they come up big. Chance again, extra clear. Cam Bam off the back wall, but Duck will get there. Good speed. That speed's going to be needed on the other half of the field here with a minute remaining. They're going to need a strong push if they want to tie this up.
Absolutely, and they've had, like you said, one great push, but that's really just because Penn State has been all over them in the midfield line. I mean, the amount of pressure that they've been able to exert on this Sault College roster on defense has been nothing short of phenomenal. Cam Bam, no problem tipping that sideways, and you really need to start seeing some more challenges going Sault College's way. That's a big miss from Duck, and that is not what you need with 30 seconds left.
Not at all. Pinch out. Maybe they can get something here. It's about managing the pace. Meanwhile, using the ceiling to get the clear out is Penn State. 20 seconds left. A lot of pressure here. Good challenge from Duck. Chiller up quick off the back wall, but he was last. Extra can't get there. Duck gets around, misses the top corner. Extra passing it to no one, but the pop out may work if someone's there. That's a good beat. Ball will bounce off the corner. Cam Bam almost picked up one more, but this one, wait, maybe a chance. Duck, the flick over. Pass Extra and Chiller mid. There it is. The shot. Oh! Off the corner. Corey will get the clear. Is anyone there to get it? It won't. And it'll be Penn State taking game one.
You gotta be kidding me. Duck, he had a chance earlier, maybe 15, maybe 20 seconds before that 0-second chance. But Duck couldn't get all the way around the ball, goes off the post, and then Penn State gives them the world's greatest transition. But they're just rushing too hard, trying to cover too much ground from behind, and they can't get in position again to score an almost wide open net. Tough break for Sault College, playing defense all game. Get gifted 2 looks, and you're just not in the right spot to take advantage of them. Brutal.
Really tough. And seeing that this one is coming into fold here as we load up for Ben Temple. Again, this is a series between 2 teams who have struggled. But one thing is for certain that they have in common. No matter how hard all these players have struggled, they're all better than Stacks. We're loading up game number 2 on Forbidden Temple. And we are going to see which team is coming out on top.
Oh my god. You didn't even like gently just, put him out in front of the bus. You ran him over with it. Wow. Anyway.
I don't get him on death segments too often, so I gotta
get him back eventually.
I gotta make it up for him. So
he has let you have it a couple times.
Starting this one off, it's been a little bit of pressure from Sault College, but Penn State will look to pick things up here. But, Sault College has been able to at least move this ball downfield really well. It's about that setup that, they tend to struggle with, and, setting up that good offensive shot. I mean, maybe it's Penn State that makes it so hard on them.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to Penn State having great positioning out of the midfield, and everyone gets tied up on the goal line for Sault College. Duck, surprised to be on call for the save there. But you're right, Sault College really... Oh, Duck turned off. I can't say I like that. Now they're in trouble. And yes, that is exactly why. Duck, he's only got 12 boost, but that's exactly why he doesn't want to go for it. He doesn't want to pull himself out of position, but he gives away the backboard. Cam Bam says thank you very much, and it's 1-0.
The problem with Duck pulling out there is that you have 12 boosts, so no matter what, you're just covering.
You're not going to be able to do anything.
And then you also confuse the guy that's behind you, because now he has to play around you at the same time. There was not enough time to react there. It would have just been much better if he would have at least dove and forced an uncomfortable touch there for Penn State. But you live and you learn. But they might not live in the series. Another shot from Cam Bam, and it's a 2-goal lead.
Cam Bam indeed. Duck just trying to get this ball under his control. Hits it a little heavy. Skips right back out to the midfield, and Cam Bam, he's just patiently waiting at that midfield line, waiting to see what happens. Well, when you get gifted a pass off the side wall, of course you're going to nail it towards the net.
So Cam Bam shooting 2 for 2 now, as he's lining up the scoreboard for Penn State. And Sault College struggling to find an answer, not only here, but in the series. Things have not gone their favor. Cam Bam once again. That'll drop to Duck. Duck will get the flick over. Another flick. Chance. Extra. Top corner. Sault College strike.
Duck really showing everyone why the dribble packs are worth practicing. A perfectly executed double pop. Hit it off the backboard. Let Extra come and nail that one through. You want to show a couple of people how to make defenders miss. Well, that's what a bounce dribble does for you.
That was the perfect time to come out with that as well. Now, seeing where this Sault College team is. They're going to need to dig deep here if they want to come out with this game. We know Penn State is great with holding these one-goal leads. But now it's about, if not, PSU try to build up on that.
Ooh, they might have caught Cam Bam. I don't think that's in, though. It's definitely over his head for a moment. You're right. I think they are definitely demonstrating throughout the course of the series so far. Very capable of just hanging on to the midfield. Slowly but surely, College starting to get a bit more offensive chances.
And being able to hold out is honestly due to a lot of forcing a team on their half of the field. Sault College getting offensive chances is never a good sign. So this one could be tied up here if Sault can keep up the offensive pressure. But that's a big clear for Rim. And guess what? It's an open net. Penn State respond, and they have their 2-goal lead back.
You should never be beating two people with a flick like that. Duck initially forces Rem up the backboard, and Duck sees that he's got no chance to challenge Rem, so he turns off to go for demos, trusts his teammates behind him to be able to make the challenge, but Rem doesn't even do much. He just punched the ball in the midfield, but the third man is way too far forward for that. Corey wants a double tap off the kickoff, and it's a free one for Rem. He wins the race, and game 2 well out of reach now with 1:30.
Penn State showing off. Good touch from Corey off that bar, almost pushed the top corner. And Rim with a good read on his teammate, able to beat that last defender to the touch. Now a 4-1 game as Penn State are showing people that, you know, the record for the start here may not be the best.
Oh my God.
Almost a crazy fake into a flick by Corey.
Always a great feeling when you're making defenders squirm on the goal line. And Corey does so with perfection. Not able to turn it into a goal, but that's still time wasted up by 3. And Sault College going to be scratching their heads. They know exactly what went wrong here in this game. I mean, Duck pulling off of that ball in the midfield opened up a double tap for Cam Bam. You combine that with some well-executed plays, and they will get one back for Penn State. But a clean 2-0 lead, 45 seconds. This is tough to have this one get away from you if you're the Nittany Lions.
At this point, they can just continue to keep the ball down, play boomer ball, and we haven't seen Sault College be that successful on offense yet. So there's no real reason to worry for Penn State. But you don't want to let your foot off the gas too much because you could end up getting dusted. Speaking of getting dusted, you said it. Okay, that wasn't me that time. That's all I'm saying. But extra, oh man, he was closer to the ball there, but Cam Bam played that perfectly.
Yeah, the reason that one actually goes in early is Cam Bam jumps off the wall slightly early and starts a flip before that one gets there. That creates that little alleyway for that ball to just pinch right back off him. And Corey will turn another one in off the kickoff. So yeah, I think Penn State wins this one.
I'd say so myself. Corey just with the read here, a lot of confidence from Penn State, and you're seeing with how aggressive they're being. The same cannot be said for Sault College. We don't know how many times Sault's been punished for Duck, who is arguably one of their best players, failing to challenge the ball. A lot of turnoffs and lack of just getting there on time. And at this point, it's starting to really get away with the team. Not saying Duck's the issue, but I'm just saying that effect, that start, gives a snowball conflict. Like, you're seeing a snowball effect. Duck will pick one off after a play. This was the touch that slipped that in. Look at that.
And you know, Duck, you're right. It's not Duck's fault. He's got 2 assists and a goal right here with a wicked shot. Obviously, the defense kind of let that one through with a mechanical mishap. But Duck having a little bit of an off game too here in terms of the defensive side of things. Let the ball get away from him a couple times, open up the door. Cam Bam will jam in another one at 0 seconds. Penn State are going to be up 2-0 in the series. Sault College are sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, why can we not get the ball out of our own half? Look at the shot differential when we pull up the scorecard. Just insanely in favor of Penn State.
Penn State, the confidence here shown on so many levels. And this is shown not only from the goal scoreline, but when you go back and look at this one, the minute details, the early challenges, the aggressive offense, and the show of confidence when going for a lot of high action plays. This team is comfortable. And Sault College, they got to make them uncomfortable if they want to have any hope in this series.
Which is not happening. It's that transition game really coming back to bite them. They haven't been able to make a defender miss at the midfield line. It's leading to stagnated offense and just sitting there on defense. And then you end up in situations like that goal where Duck allowed a double tap. He just didn't have the boost, so he didn't feel confident trying to force the challenge. Ended up leaving a gap, and Penn State jumped all over it. That's what happens when you're not able to get out of your own half. You're not able to really spread the field and make sure everyone's got some boost to work with.
And like Bambi had said in his interview, I think is the best assumption for this Penn State team right now. They're just vibing. Starting this one off here, and you can see a lot of aggression coming out from Sault College.
Half the server up for that ball.
Everybody going for that one in front of the goal line. And now Cam Bam trying to sneak through. Chiller looking to get that through. I'm not going to lie. Seeing his name in the pregame lobby, I thought he was a bot. I was like, they accidentally put bots on? But I was like, oh, no, that's just his name. That's a cool name. Not a lot of people would go with something like that.
It is a fun little look inside the minds of gamers' heads. What do they come up with on their screen name? And I think if there's any Rocket League esports broadcast where you get unbridled personality, it's CRL, as Rem is going to work off the back of Cam Bam's setup here out of the corner. That's a great job sticking with that.
Look at the recovery, too. You know, the delay into boosting, it kind of makes it feel like he doesn't have a piece or a touch on that ball. Then the boost, it just turns it on. Yep. Makes that a good setup. Cam Bam, you got to talk about him. He has definitely showed up for Penn State on offense in all facets, whether it's shooting some good shots, making some solid setups.
He looks to do a little more here and almost turns that one in. Extra smart to get out there and cut that one off. Pass into the middle for Ram, and that is going to find the back of the net. 2-0 Nittany Lions. Sault College not able to follow the ball east to west.
Oh, man. And Duck went up for that. Getting a little antsy, but the play there from for Penn State wasn't actually that extravagant. You can kind of see that one developing. You know, once Core picks that up, he has someone midfield. You just got to get the cutoff. It seemed like Sault rushed the challenge and threw themselves out of the play. But the consistency from Penn State will continue to pay off. Maybe a chance here. Duck won't be able to get there in time. This is Corey.
It's a transition.
Maybe a chance, taking his time. There's the demo, and Duck will knock this one over to the side.
Josh is going to need a lot of help on this. Extra, you cannot be sloppy with this ball, and that is what you need. The first defender beat, but the layering of the defense from Cam Bam there. Understanding that you can go up and support your teammate on that sidewall right there in case a flick comes out is just phenomenal. Makes the diving stop there as well. Penn State, I mean, great. Just coordination on how they like to challenge as Rem delays a shot, gets chipped by Chiller. And everything going to stall out here for just a moment.
Now Sault, at this point, they're really going to have to pull out everything they've gotten. We're starting to see Duck go for some flip resets. And it has worked out. They got a lot of room downfield and almost were able to come out and score a goal if you would have hit that. They're going to need that and a little bit of more magic here if they want to avoid the sweep. But a lot of people talked about Penn State. You heard the desk. And they were really behind them. And for the right reasons, they are consistently coming up here and extending their lead once more. Corey will pick up his first in Game 3.
Yeah, Duck's not really doing anything wrong here. It looks like he's caught out of position, but all he did after he initially landed from his first approach on the ball was try and steal the opponent's corner boost, which in and of itself is a good play, but it looks a lot worse when you don't have the challenge come through in the midfield and it just gets through uncontested. Then it makes Duck look like he made a bad idea.
That was a good idea for him to go up there on the challenge. Rim has a lot of space. Is he going to show us something? Dunk, but it won't be in. He played that one pretty well. Cam Bam up quickly. Oh, a double commit. I didn't know where that one was going, but now it's going the other way. Cam Bam again, and like you said, just that lack of pressure as this one completely turns the other way. They had the numbers battle there, Cheese. But
they had the 3-on-1.
Yeah.
And how often can you say you can't turn a 3-on-1 into a goal, and it's because you just don't have the people in the position with the boost to make the play. Here they do. Good.
And you're right, they do. Duck comes up here off this one. Extra, good read, and honestly a good shot. That was almost top left corner. Just barely missed out, and Duck able to get the read for the quick cleanup.
And Cam Bam, I mean, that's actually was a pretty decent attempt at the save. I'm not a big fan of just driving up the back of the net to try and make a save like that a lot of the time, because I feel like you kind of sacrifice a lot in terms of your options of approach, but Cam Bam was real close to getting a hand on that.
Now Cam Bam pass out. Corey will push that downfield. Offense from Penn State still up here, as it is a 3-1 scoreline. Maybe a chance. Chiller can't get there in time. Now Duck has to scramble back. Talk about the numbers battle on the counterattack. Duck last man, but gets a good touch here. Has control. Has to make the right play here. Goes for the shot. Ooh. Oh, it just went in. Extra will clean it up. And Sault College bring this within one.
Call in the janitor, but oh, Duck, you were robbed. You honestly deserved it. And Cam Bam trying to recover to make the second save. So close, but thought Extra was going to go high into the net. Ended up turning to control the corner. Left the bottom side open, and Extra, as you said, the janitor cleans it all up. Another chance for Penn State off the kickoff, but nobody ready to dive on that ball.
Now Sioux, they were able to get the clutch play. They'll need one more here to avoid the sweep. At least to tie this one up. Duck, oh, that gets away from Chiller though. Plays that high. Duck looking for the bump on rim, can't get there. Extra will clean this up. But will Sioux be able to come out on top? They need one to tie. Ball in open space. Cam Bam challenge. Oh, Rim with the fake to end it all. Penn State take this one in 3.
Rim does him dirty. Always the right move. Make him think that you're going to bomb it up the pitch, and they're going to have to take it in the air, and the slam on the brakes, let it end off your nose. Penn State 3-0 to Sault College. A fantastic show from them, and showing us that Stacks might have a point. They did run the table against a lot of people at the top to start off the season, and a 3-1 win here in fairly convincing fashion looks good for them to start turning things around.
You know, you do bring up a good point, and this is one of those reasons why, you know, this one did go the way they did. I gave them 5, or actually I gave Sioux 5, so I'm not really taking too much of an L there in the department, but F-Dot is, so I'm kind of excited about to see where the points lie. That being said, though, Penn State although they haven't been able to get a win yet, this was definitely a good first one here, too. Going up against Sioux, obviously, you know, the record may have been on their side, but you do bring up those past results, and you also bring out that gameplay. That was a dominating performance. Yeah,
much needed win for Penn State, and a good start to start getting the train moving back in the direction and up towards that top 8 of the Eastern Conference. So a well-deserved win here off the back of some great double taps from Cam Bam and excellent pressure overall. So a well-deserved win. Sault College kind of left scratching your heads. You really thought they were going to be able to transition a little more, spend a lot more time on offense than they really did here in this series. So Sault College, go back to the lab. You got some things to work on.
Go back to the lab, load up the next lobby. We're going to do that, actually, with our next matchup. It's been a lot of fun, Rocket League, but we're only halfway through the day. We got more CRL coming up soon. Don't go anywhere.
And that's when you